As you can tell from these two boxes, these are the just black versions. Of course, the Pixel 2 also comes in clearly white and kind of blue. Pixel 2 XL also comes in black and white is the official color name. A lot of people referring to it as the Panda. These are the just black versions, and no, we're not complaining. By the way, these are review units sent to us by Google. Thanks for those. So let's dive in. Well, first of all, Pixel 2, as you guys know, starts at $649 for 64 gigs of storage, and then jumps up to $749 for 128 gigs of storage. Those are the only two storage options. As far as the Pixel 2 XL goes, we're up another $100 from that. So 64 gig version is $849, then the 128 gig version is $949. So pricing is aligned with last year's for the most part, but we are jumping up closer to that $1,000 mark, which we've seen the iPhone 10 at, and of course the Galaxy Note 8. So phones, they're obviously not getting any cheaper. So if we just look at boxes here, you can see profiles of each phone here on the side. Now, the Pixel 2 made by HTC, Pixel 2 XL made by LG. Google isn't going to tell you that. They're not going to talk about that. They just hired those companies to manufacture phones that they designed. So these are Google's phones, even though those may have been made or manufactured by somebody else. But you can see like the styling here, they are very much the same. The big difference is going to be on the front sides of each phone, which we'll show you in just a second. On the back side, you do have Team Pixel back. So Pixel 2 has this green one, 2XL has this blue one. And if we flip over to this side, we see some Google Assistant logo and then Google Lens. So this has Google Assistant and Google Lens, obviously, but this will be the first phone to have Google Lens active in sort of an early trial. So anyways, let's fire these guys open and compare them a little bit and have some fun with it. So I'm actually going to cut that sticker rather than fight it on camera with you guys. Ooh, and they are not that easy to cut. There we go. I think we got it there. Okay. So anyways, let's open these up. And that just slides up. Should we do a tandem? The tandem liftoff. Tandem liftoff is go. So again, Pixel 2 here. Pixel 2 XL, smaller guy, bigger guy. Let's pull each phone out, set it there on the side, see what else is in the box. Google is, I think, tossing in quite a bit of stuff. So here is just an instruction guide to sort of get you started as far as I can tell. And then underneath that, you do have a USB to USB-C adapter, and that's going to help with data transfers and things like that from your old phone to your new phone. Then below that, here is, so yeah, the phones do not have 3.5mm headphone jack. So this is your adapter. USB-C plugs into the bottom of the phone. Your headphones do plug in there. So yeah, Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL do not have headphone jacks. And this is how you deal with that. I should point out that they are selling replacements for these on the Google Store, and they are a whopping $20. So don't lose this thing. Here is your USB-C to USB-C cable. So when you're charging the phone, I'm assuming the adapter, one of these ends is going to go in that and the other in the phone. And what I say by that is that means the adapter is a USB-C adapter, not USB-A to C like we've seen in the past. So there is your cable. And then under here, this would be your adapter. So yep, USB-C here. So one end in here, other end in your phone, charges fast, and Google is doing some fast charging here. So it should be one of the faster devices to charge, but super minimal packaging, as you can see. We will slide all of this now out of the way. And in case you were wondering, the Pixel 2 XL, I can look in here too, but it should be the same. So there is that, if I can get this out. There is that adapter for data transfer, cable, 3.5mm headphone jack, and power adapter in there as well. So nothing different between the two. That is the same box of goodies. All right, so here are the two phones. And we will, of course, begin by ripping plastic off of each. Actually, I'm a big slider these days. Let's see if I can just slide these things right out. Come on. Oh, nope, that is not going to happen. So we will then peel from the back here to get plastic off. I don't know what it is about me with stickers and plastic wraps. Oh, no sticker on the back. Hallelujah. All right, we'll take this one off too. And then we'll fire each phone up and start diving in here. All right, all of that out of the way. Let's turn these on for that first boot. As you guys know, with Android Oreo, phones boot up much more quickly than they did in the past. Already you can tell a little bit differences in display there. I would say this one on the left, Pixel 2, is looking a little warmer than the Pixel 2 XL on the right. So there is your first boot. Let's walk through specs between the two. So littler guy. Well, actually, let's get this out of the way. So in terms of what they have similar, so again, storage, they both have 64 or 128 gig storage amounts. And then those prices we talked about different. They both have 4 gig RAM. They both have 12.2 megapixel cameras on the back. They are the same sensor. You do not get a downgrade from one phone to the next. The camera sensors are the same. F1.8 on those, optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. We have 8 megapixel cameras up front. Those are f2.4. We also have differences in batteries though. So 2700 milliamp hour battery here in the Pixel 2, so a little bit smaller. And then 3520 milliamp hour battery on the bigger guy, Pixel 2 XL. Both run Snapdragon Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processors. They have IP67 water and dust resistance. NFC, Bluetooth 5.0, USB Type-C ports down there on the bottom. Fingerprint sensors right here, dead center in the back. So they do both have those. We also have front stereo speakers on both phones. You can definitely see it on the Pixel 2 right here because it has those extra bezels. But the 2 XL also has it even with its minimal bezels. There are 2 speakers on each. So you do have front stereo speakers. Again, there is no headphone jack. We already showed you the adapter for that. And there's no headphone jack up top either. So that's the basics of the phone. The other big thing then is obviously the display. So we have a 5-inch 1080p display over here on the Pixel 2, and the Pixel 2 XL has a 6-inch POLED Quad HD display. They both have Gorilla Glass 5. So that is specs. Let's what do you say? Should we jump through software and do a quick tour, even though we are doing just an unboxing? Sure, why not? Now, past all of that setup stuff, here is your first look at Android Oreo running on the Pixel 2 XL. So, went with the bigger guy. I figured this is probably the phone most of you are going to choose just because it's sort of got that more modern design. Now, you can see there is definitely some bezel, top to bottom, a little bit on the sides. Now, it's not quite as edge-to-edge or bezel-free as, say, the V30 or even the Galaxy S8 or Note 8, but it's got mostly that all-display front. So, with Android Oreo here, it's obviously a Pixel Launcher experience, so swipe up and down to get into your apps there. You see, it just seems like there's an extra bounce or something with this launcher that maybe we didn't see in the past, so a little more playful UI there. The other thing I would say is you can, if you get up close there, we just kind of look at this wallpaper is actually live. You can see the waves actually crashing in. So this is one of the new things they're introducing with the Pixel 2 is these new live wallpapers. So kind of cool, but as you can see, the search bar is down there on the bottom. Your shortcuts to your apps, and again, you just swipe up into there. If we swipe down here, the notification area hasn't really changed all that much. Again, this is Android Oreo. If you have a Pixel phone, you've sort of seen what this looks like already. Here are your settings, and then again we'll jump in here and about phone and Android 8.0.0. So it's not running Android 8.1 or 8.0.1, which we thought it might have been based off of FCC filings, but it does have the squeezy side, so you can squeeze the side to launch Assistant. We'll talk more about that if we fire up the camera. I'm not going to dive fully in here. Again, this is just an unboxing, but you'll have your portrait mode, and that works in both selfie and rear camera. It should be one of the fastest, best cameras you'll see. It's obviously got auto HDR, and it's already been ranked really highly and things like that. For the most part, though, that's about all I can show you just out of an unboxing. We'll dive fully in again with tips and tricks and all that stuff, but so far, this is what we've been waiting for. This is Google's new phones, Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL. These are all metal phones with that glass sort of accent up top. Your camera housing does stick up ever so slightly up there, just so you're aware of that. If we take a tour of the sides, which we haven't fully done, you've got power lock switch up top just above the volume rocker here on this right side. If we flip over to the left side, just your SIM tray, and that is just a SIM tray. There's no SD card slot on these phones. Again, if we go down to the bottom, there is your USB Type-C port, and there's no headphone jack down there either. And then up top, there's absolutely nothing other than just a single microphone. On this particular phone, the Pixel 2 XL, you can see it's got sort of this bubble effect. Now you've got the metal frame running around the edge, and then up, and then you can see where the display, it just kind of curves and it bubbles up almost over the top, which is kind of a cool effect. See that there. So again, there's your front facing camera, 8 megapixel. There is your top speaker, and there is your bottom speaker. Do you have always on display with this phone, which is something new for Google and Pixel phones? You used to have ambient display, but now you do actually have an always on display. So they've upgraded some things. Again, there's your fingerprint reader on the back, a G logo down there on the bottom. And that is pretty much it. It's just been an unboxing. It's been a long one, but this is kind of a, these are special phones to unbox, Google's phone. So anyways, if you guys have comments, questions, let us know. But we've got a whole ton of stuff coming. Peace.